real good.
Well, has my life been crazy for the past couple months? I know y'all haven't seen much because this is the first time I've been staring into a camera lens now in probably about 2 months. I totally forgot to add something to my crazy life for the past couple months. Your boy's a licensed real estate agent. So, Greater Houston area, you're looking to buy, sell real estate? I'm your man. But I totally forgot to mention that. I am with the Move Texas group. Yeah, I just had to throw that in there too. If y'all don't know, we're expecting our second child, and he is very soon to come. So I haven't been leaving the house. I haven't been going fishing. I've been staying. You know, if I do leave, I have went and done a little bit of scouting and stuff like that. But I'm only 30, 45 minutes away from the house, not an hour or over. Even if I go fish Conroe, it takes me at least an hour. Load the boat up, get in the truck, and get back to the house. And there's no way that I would ever miss my son's birth. There's no way. There's no way. So, soon as she hit 39 weeks, I was like, he's full term. And I'm getting all this, knowledge from my wife. Y'all hear me talking this lingo and stuff. It all comes from her. I have no clue. She just tells me, and I go, okay. And I know it's getting close. So, honestly, I don't know if my son's got any more room in there. He's got her belly stretched. So, it's any day now. It is any day now, and I'm excited. I'm pumped. To be honest with you, I've missed fishing a little bit just because that's what I do, but I have not. I haven't missed it that much, because I'm excited for my son's arrival. So, with that being said, what is the channel going to look like for the next few months? I am going to post stuff that doesn't necessarily relate to fishing. I should have posted what we're sitting in now. I should have filmed all this. It's a golf simulator room that I built. It's freaking awesome. I love it. This end is going to be the golf simulator, which I'm not any good. So y'all probably don't worry about golf content on my channel unless y'all just want to see somebody that's really, really bad at golf. Then y'all drop it down in the comments, and we'll see what we can't film in here on the simulator. But it's bad. Funny story when it comes to that real quick. So I just got it set up, and my brother came over, and behind the camera here, I have like a theater style chair, 2 recliners, and him and my wife were in here, and I was practicing. And my wife had asked my brother, hey, have you seen the new Happy Gilmore 2? And my brother said, well, of course I have. And I was standing up here with the boomstick, the driver in my hand, and I said, oh, do y'all want to see a Happy Gilmore swing? And both of them just kind of laughed. Well, I took my running start and hit the ball, and the ball never got off the ground. It went right up underneath that screen. There's a little gap underneath there. I don't know, it's probably 4 inches or so. The ball went right up underneath there, and there's a piece of galvanized tubing that this frame is built out of. That ball hit that galvanized tubing and came flying out of there and nailed my brother right in the thigh, and it rolled up to his, I ain't got to say it. Y'all just, what's between the legs. And so I hit it. I hear it hit that, and then I hear it bounce back here, and then I hear my brother go, oh! And I turn around real fast, and I look, and he's all hunched over, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And I asked him, I was like, dude, are you okay? And he was like, you hit me in the... And I was like, no freaking way. And he was like, yeah. And I felt really bad, really, really bad. And he lifted his pants leg up to where the ball first made contact. Luckily, it hit his leg first, and then it rolled up. But where the ball first had made contact with his leg, within 30 seconds, it was already whelped and starting to bruise around it within 30 seconds. I felt so bad, and he was in a lot of pain, a lot of pain, and I was scared that I might have hurt something, not his leg, the other thing, and because he ain't got no kids, so I was pretty worried about that, and but luckily it hit his leg, it rolled up, no damage there on the other end, but let me tell you, I seen him 2 days later, and I was like, dude, let me see your leg. And his whole half of his leg was purple. Now, whenever I connect with my drives, I can carry about 275. With that day, whenever I hit that ball, my launch monitor said, I believe the club speed was 110 miles an hour and the ball speed was 172 miles an hour. So, if you can only imagine a golf ball flying, I guess it's probably about 25 foot after it hit off of that. 172 miles an hour, it hits that, it flies back. Oh man, it could have been a lot worse. So, that was just a funny little story about the golf simulator and why y'all probably won't see any golf content because I'm not very good. But what y'all will be seeing is hunting for the next few months. Is probably going to be hunting and some fishing too. But for right now, is going to be hunting. So I hope, the people that have came over to the channel, sorry, I got to move this mouse or that's going to go off. People that have came to the channel because it's a fishing channel, I hope y'all will stick around and enjoy the hunting content too. I want to do an archery range, like a legit archery range. So that'll be the next content that's filmed on the channel in honor of we're getting close to hunting season. The story of my biggest buck that I've ever killed, I think it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool story. So we'll show y'all. See if I can even fit him in the frame here. I shot this deer 6 years ago and I still haven't got him mounted. So yeah, the cape is has been well freezer burned now for a while. But if y'all know somebody, greater Houston area, I might even drive a little bit further if they're willing to cut me a deal because I really want to get it done. Let me know in the comments. But this buck, he scored, let's see how the score over here. Let's see. He grossed 152 and 1/8, and final score was 149 and 2/8. So really symmetrical deer. Before public land, it was all cattle country. That's what I hunted. Open pasture. Like I said, this was the last deer I've shot with a rifle. And it was 6 years ago. Well, for some reason, that thing won't hook to my phone. So imagine that. Let me see. So, I'm going to try to hold it up here. There we go. So, story behind this deer. Okay. Me and my brother went to this place and got to the gate, and we sat there and we talked about where we thought we were going to go. So my brother said, well, I'm going to go up on the hillside, which is, so this place was set up to where it was big hill, the hill, the property kind of sloped down to the back. He said he wanted to go up on the big hill, and I said, okay, well, I'm going to go down and overlook the bottom. So we split up, and I found me a nice little tree. I sat down under the tree, and I happened to look. This was like, and this is how fast it happened. I get to the tree, I get to my tree, sit down, and I look over here to my left, and then I happen to turn and look to my right down along the creek. And when I do, I see a really good buck down there making a scrape. And immediately, he's 500-600 yards away from me, and I can see his horns. All right, I'm going to go pursue that deer. That's a good one. So I get down. I was sitting on kind of like an old fence row. I get up on the opposite side to where he can't see me, and I walk down that fence row, and I start making my descent down this little hill that I was on. Tall goat weeds. The goat weeds were probably, I don't know, about waist deep. So just kind of hunch over and make my way that way. On the right side of me, once I get past that old fence row, and now I'm kind of making my way back over there to that creek, the old fence row, that same old fence row, kind of picks back up on the right side of me. I'm going to the left, that kind of picks back up. So as I'm dropping off the hill, I just happen to turn this way and look, and there's 6 does walking that old fence line. Okay, so I squat down. I'm just sitting there watching, because obviously it's getting to be that time. You got a buck over there on the creek making a scrape, and so I wonder if there's anything following them. So I sit there, and I don't know, probably the doe's round the bend, and maybe 10 seconds behind them, there he is, hot on their tail. Now they're only probably 150 yards away. So right off the bat, I want that one. I knew this one was a lot bigger. I still hadn't seen him really good. I just seen his antlers and ducked down completely into the goat weed and started making my way back the way that I came to go after this deer. So I get up there on top of the hill, and now the goat weeds are pretty much gone, and now I have big clumps of briars. Blackberry briars and green briar. And what it is, on top of this hill, there was a bunch of oak trees, and all the oak trees died and their limbs fell off, and the briars just kind of overtook them. So there's just these clumps scattered out on the top of this hill. So I knew if they stayed on this fence line that I could cut them off. The only issue is I had a really small window to cut them off. Well, the gun that you had seen in the picture is a 300 mag. So obviously I don't want to shoot them at 75 yards. That wouldn't be the bullet probably wouldn't even expand. So that was my dilemma there. This deer's big enough, in my mind, just make a really good shot and you don't have to worry about that bullet expanding. So I get up there, I making my way through all the briars, and I sit down, and now I'm about 50 yards off of this fence, the old fence row. I said, okay, that's close enough. So I'm hunched down. I see the does come out. They cross the opening that I know they're going to cross, and wait my 10 seconds, and he's not behind them. Okay, so what's going on here? Well, them does had already gotten on up the fence row and kind of more at an angle back away from me this way. And I don't know if one of them seen it. Obviously, I don't think they smelled me, because 9 times out of 10, if a deer smells you, they're gone. I think one of them might have spotted me, and cool. One of them might have spotted me and was like, "What is that? What is that over there?" If anybody's been hunting a lot, or not necessarily even a lot, if you're around a lot of deer are very curious animals. If they don't smell you, if they just see you, they're very curious. So I'm sitting there kind of trying not to move, but I'm looking out of the side of the corner of my eye at them, and they're making their way back directly towards me. And all of them are doing their little head movement like this, and now they've gotten to where they're about 30 yards from me, and there's 3 of them, and one of them is she just keeps coming. I'm like, oh my gosh, this doe is gonna bust me, and I'm not gonna have my chance. She makes her way probably to 15 to 20 yards, and she's sitting there bobbing her head, stomping her foot. She's trying to get me to move, and I'm just rock solid, probably the stillest I've ever been in my life. And I'm looking where he should come from, but I'm side-eyeing what they're doing. And about the time she's right there doing all that stuff, he steps out in the opening, and he's looking back her direction. And he's just standing there looking. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a freaking giant. What do I do? And I'm like, if I move, they're going to bust me. If I move, they're going to bust me. So out of the corner of my eye, I see her just turn around and start walking away. So I went, okay. Soon as she turned and started walking away, I slowly started lifting my gun up. Well, the other two that got out of my side view there, they were still there. They were just a little bit further back this way where I couldn't see them. And I kid you not, took it from about right here to right here, and both of them does started blowing. And as soon as they started blowing, he spun around, jumped the fence, and I thought he was gone for good. I get home, I get back to the top of the hill, we get back to the house, I'm telling my dad, I'm telling you, this is the biggest deer I've ever seen in my life. Which, with a rifle in my hand, that was the biggest deer I've ever seen in my life. And he, oh yeah, sure. And I describe it. I'd say, look, he's got dark chocolate horns, and I think he's a 10-point. I know he's got two big G2, G3, super long. Oh yeah. And I told him, I bet he's probably 19 inches wide. Oh yeah, sure he is. Well, a week later, I go back with my brother, my youngest brother, and I'm like, I'm going to hunt this deer. And he wanted to go with me. We get down there, and we get set up in briars. I could see where they had came from that day, but I could not see where I had last seen them. So we were sitting down off of that hill. I could see down the fence line that they came from, and up towards where I had seen them the last time. We're sitting there. We probably sat there for 30 minutes or so, and I see the group of does come out we're talking probably 500 or 600 yards back up the fence line, away from where they were. So they're way up there. And I tell my brother right off the jump, I said, that's the group of does he was with. And about that time, a buck comes running out and starts bumping them. My brother had his binoculars up, and he said, there's a buck with him. He's a good one. I get my gun up. No, that's not him. It is a good deer, but that's not him. That buck bumps them does for a minute, and then all of a sudden, he jumps out and runs that other buck off. And there was also a spike in there with him too, but the spike really wasn't bumping him. I think the spike was just like watching how it all went down. So he jumps out, bumps that buck, chases the does around, peels one off. I'm assuming the one that was ready to be bred, and he starts pushing her up the hill further away from us. At that time, I made the decision. I told my brother, I was like, look, man, I got to go after him. I have to go. Now, we have 5 or 6 does up there, a spike, another buck. That's a lot of eyes, a lot of ears, a lot of noses. The good thing is I had the wind was blowing straight from them back into our faces. So I told him, I said, look, there's a little ravine that runs to cut that distance in about half. So we're looking at, we're watching these deer 600-700 yards away. That ravine runs up that fence line about 350. I told him, I said, look, I'm going to hit that ravine, and I ain't going to stop till I top and get out of it. I was like, call me. You sit here and watch them. Call me if any of the other deer, because once I get down in that ravine, I can't see nothing. So I said, call me if they start acting all weird. I get down in the ravine, and I'm freaking scooting, hunched over, going. And I pop up probably about, 85 yards short of where the ravine stops, because I was getting close to where that spike was. So I pop up, and whenever I pop up, I'm like 10 yards from the spike. And he's, got me locked. He sees me clear as day. And God's will, he did not do anything. He just looked at me and went right back to eating. I went, okay, dropped right back down in the ravine and finished going. I top out of this ravine, and there's 4 or 5 does, and that other little buck, I don't know where he went. I don't know where the other buck went, other than that spike. And whenever I top that, I could see him going up the wood line, and now, he's probably 295 at that point, 295 yards away, and he's running dead away from me. So there's nothing I can do. I find me a good tree that I can grip. I set the gun right on my hand, and I wait. I wait and I pray that that doe turns and makes her way back away from the tree line, because they're following right down the edge of the tree line. I pray, please go out into the field. And they're going. He ended up being, I think it was about 320 yards. 320 yards, and I don't know what caused it. I don't know if something in the trees spooked them or something, but she peeled off and went 50 yards and stopped. And he kind of did the same thing and stopped. And as soon as he stopped, that was a mistake. I put the hammer down on him on that 300 Win Mag, and that was all she wrote. He was right there down. It was crazy though, because whenever I hadn't shot that rifle in a while. It was my dad's. He passed down to me, handed down to me. And I guess it was dust that was in the barrel. Because thinking back, I mean, it was like I was shooting a black powder gun. Like the poof that came out the barrel. Very surprised that the bullet flew true, if that is the case. Because I called my brother right away, because I didn't see him drop like that. You know, they were so close to that tree line. My fear is did I miss him and I couldn't see because the dust and stuff that blew out of the barrel, and he just peeled and went into the trees. I called my brother, and I was like, hey man, did you see it? Did you see him? He was like, no, they were already over the top of the hill. I couldn't see them. I was like, well, what did it sound like? Did it sound like a hit? And he was like, I don't know. My brother's been around hunting his whole life. If you've been around hunting, you know, and shooting guns and stuff like that, you know what it sounds like when you hit something. Whether it be, you know, a gut shot has a big boom, and a solid shot just more of like a smack. And he was just dumbfounded. He was like, I don't know. And I was like, I was panicking because I didn't know. So I get back there to him. We get up there on the hill, and I see him. We load it up, and that story was probably way too long. And I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel. I'm going to be more consistent now. It's just not going to be fishing. It's not going to be all fishing content. We're going to do some hunting. Of course, we're still doing fishing. We're going to do a bunch of outdoor stuff. I'm an outdoorsman. I love to do stuff outside. So I appreciate y'all, and we will catch y'all on the next one.